All right, guys. Hey. So you're here with your hosts from SportAches, K Nooney, Smokey, and the Bean.
Yo, what's happening?
What's
Yeah,
popping,
usually this is
y'all?
where you guys. So let's start it off. NFL. Crazy time. Crazy matchups. I went 4-0 in my predictions. Hey, if I'm a better man, I'm listening to K Noon, all right? So what do you take, huh?
Get out of here.
All right,
Technically, if you were a betting man, you would have lost on the points for the Chiefs game.
do you want?
Oh, yeah, on the spread for sure. All right, so crazy week of football, crazy matchups. The Packers trump the Rams, Bills trump the Ravens, Chiefs trump the Browns, and the Buccaneers beat the Saints. Now, I went the perfect 4-0 in my predictions. I had those guys. I had those teams winning. And even when Mahomes going down made it close, they still pulled it out. So moving on to this weekend, there's going to be a lot of big matchup. What?
If they had called the illegal hit going into halftime, which turned into a touchback, we don't know what would have happened. They would have got the ball literally at the one.
Yeah.
Probably
For the
punched it.
Browns.
Mahomes gets hurt in the third quarter. It's anybody's game at that point.
They need to make every play reviewable in the NFL, not just these certain ones, because
Not the scoring plays and shit.
it's too wishy-washy.
But going into the matchups, I don't like the Chiefs playing the Bills without Mahomes.
Yeah, who would? Because Mahomes is the best quarterback of a generation.
And then Chad Henne is like a bum backup. Like there's a lot. There's like I can name like at least 10 backups.
You can't give them a pass for that. That's kind of their fault for not signing a fucking backup.
Yeah, like there was plenty
Yeah,
of
they could have
quarterbacks.
got Kaepernick or something.
Like the Saints were just fine running Jameis Winston.
They didn't even need Jameis. They had Taysom Hill, and look at that. And then Breeze went down, and they didn't even play Winston, a man who threw 35 touchdowns last year, is a third stringer. Like, come on.
He also threw 30-something picks, but
he did. But hey, he had them laser eye surgery, didn't he? Now you got that 2020.
Bro, come on.
Just like
and it showed.
Just
it
like
showed in the Saints game when he
He's
threw that 50
always a top 10 fantasy quarterback.
Yeah, just like you with
He's
your
a
contacts.
Winston is a beast.
Fantasy is a 6-2 split with 42 split with touchdowns and picks. That's why he's gonna be positive.
But also most of the picks game because the Buccaneers weren't exactly the greatest defense, for a lot of the times when he was there.
They were playing from behind.
They were playing behind the line. He had to throw the ball.
Okay, yeah, but going back to next week, I don't think the Chiefs stand much of a chance without Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying.
Yeah, same. If Mahomes is there, they're good. If
I've been saying this. I think Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs are like a great duo. I like Stephon Diggs a lot.
I think Fuller has his number this game. I could see Stephon Diggs having trouble. He had trouble against Jalen Ramsey earlier in the season, being held to 1 reception for 4 yards in that matchup. But besides that, if Mahomes isn't playing, there's really not much to talk about.
Yeah, like I said, the Chiefs, they're going to be good if Mahomes is healthy, which I think he will. He was in full practice on Wednesday.
They said he passed all his tests.
And he's still in protocol, but he had a full participant. So you got to assume if he's practicing in full on Wednesday that he'd be good for, Sunday game, right?
Also, we got to monitor Clyde Edwards-Helaire to see if he's going to come back for the game or not.
That's pretty big. That's pretty nice, though, that they well, I was going to say have Le'Veon Bell, but they're using Williams anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. He's doing a good job. He's a good running back. He might be their best.
You guys want to make your picks before we move on?
In the other game is more interesting, honestly. I think that the Buccaneers. I mean, if there's no Mahomes, obviously, the Chiefs game is going to be a little bit boring.
Yeah, it's an asterisk. If Mahomes is playing, I think everybody's going for the Chiefs.
The Packers just Buccaneers. There's no asterisk and gloves off. It's going to be like that. That was going to be better than the Saints.
This is better than the Saints game.
This is better than the Saints. These are the two best quarterbacks ever, in my opinion. The two best quarterbacks.
Like Mahomes is creeping up on them, but yeah.
And Mahomes is going to be better than them. But these two are like those guys,
Yeah.
So
this is like the Larry and Magic leading the way for Jordan.
I don't know who I got. I gotta go Tom again. Honestly, I'm gonna go Tom.
Ew.
The Buccaneers team is a super team.
Yeah.
Like that's like the first super team I've ever seen in the NFL. That front seven is so good.
Their
so
defensive
talented.
coordinator Todd Bowles is like a genius as well.
They were giving Alvin Kamara so much trouble. It was
And they were
crazy.
giving Drew Brees so much. He threw 3 picks in that game.
They have guys.
They even although they did not get to Drew Brees, they did not accumulate a single sack, but
I
they
do
were
like
still able to get in his face.
the reason I do like the Packers is because Aaron Rodgers is playing like unbelievable this year, and then Devontae Adams, he really shut out against Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, Adams is looking pretty unguardable in his own right. Yeah, I like the Bucks. They did play. We did see this during the regular season. The Buccaneers defense was way too much for Aaron Rodgers to handle.
I don't think this is the same Packers team. They weren't clicking at the time. Like they had lost to like the Vikings, like right after.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that, but at the same time, was it the same Bucks team? I think this Bucks team is better than when they played. Again, this is terrific. Tom, he does this his first time playing Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. This is gonna be so fun to watch just from a fan perspective.
Okay, Kano. So y'all want to make y'all picks? I got the Packers.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bucks.
I'm going with the Buccaneers, man. Tom Brady got me the win last week in my predictions, and I'm going with him again.
I think the Bucks offense is too much for the Packers defense. They have too many options out there.
So what's the bets looking like?
You want to bet it?
Oh, what? Well, I bet on TV. Fine, right now. What are you thinking?
I'll throw 20 on that.
All right, easy.
Easy? All right, 10.
You're not believing in Rodgers now?
I'll do 10 each.
All right, bet.
Fine, deal.
Kano, you owe me 5 currently.
I do indeed, because I won my last bet. Should have bet on the Bills. Almost did. Should have bet on the Bills. We would have been
2 missed field goals. We would have been right there.
If Lamar didn't throw that pick, it would have been a completely different game, though.
And also,
the Bills guy didn't miss those field goals too. Yeah.
What I want to say is, I super underestimated. Like I took a 10-point spread on the Saints.
That was 10 points.
We took 9. No, me and Cam did it. Like,
wow.
I did think the Saints were the most.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I remember.
I thought they were just gonna walk over the Buccaneers.
That's hilarious.
I underestimated their front seven, and I thought the combination of Kamara and Michael Thomas would have been too much.
But, Michael Thomas was playing injured too, though.
Yeah, he was playing banged up.
Yeah, he needs deltoid surgery and ankle surgery. So.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to another topic. NFL. Let's stay NFL. Let's make it brief. Deshaun Watson. A lot of turmoil, a lot of back and forth, a lot of Andre Johnson, former wide receiver superstar for the Texans, coming back and saying that they disrespected him and that they're not doing right by him, and he's their franchise player. He's a top 5 guy in the league.
He led the league this year, and they only won 4 games. That should say everything.
Yeah, he's undebatably top 5 quarterback in the league.
He needs, and rightfully so, he should be traded. And he has a no trade clause, so he's going to be able to have a lot of input into where he goes, and that's going to be good. So let's talk destinations. I'll get us started. Oh, that's a little first. I'm going to get us started. And I'm going to say I got Deshaun Watson going to the Dolphins. There was some talks a couple of weeks ago that the Dolphins players, some of the people in the organization felt that Tua wasn't the guy. Some felt that his potential wasn't where they thought it was when they took. And seeing as how they also have the 3rd pick in the draft this year, the guy from the Texans by trading Tunsil, crazy how that all comes full circle like that. So I think that those 2 guys, maybe throw in another pick, I think that gets them Watson. That gives the Texans a player that's a very promising player, talented, and very marketable also. That's very important. Obviously, when you're losing your franchise face, you're going to want to bring back somebody who's extremely marketable. And I think it's a match made in heaven for both sides. It's going to give Tua the full team. It's going to give and also for a team that just won 10 games, Watson's going to be like that in the playoff picture right again. And Watson versus Josh Allen in the same division, that sounds like money, beauty, and everything I want to see. 2 times a year, sign me up.
Potentially 3.
Potentially 3. Sign me up for that. All right, that's some
good,
real football right there.
Entertainment football right there.
So you took the Dolphins?
The Dolphins are my team. Yes.
They're taking bets currently on where he's gonna play, and the Dolphins are the 2nd favorite behind the Panthers. So that's not a bad pick.
Okay. I'd like to see. All right. So where do you got him going, Bean?
I have him actually division rival. I think I could see him on the Patriots. I think you could put him.
I would love that.
You could put him in and he's mobile like Cam, but he also has like the arm to make like the quick pocket throws and throw it deep and all that.
Yeah, and he knows how to keep plays alive and stay alive in the pocket.
Although I don't want them to give up. I do not want them to give up on Cam because they were playing like no Edelman, no Hightower, no Patrick Chung,
No receivers.
Yeah, they had no tight ends this year. So
They didn't let the quarterback throw the ball.
I'm not putting the blame on Cam, but if they were to go and upgrade, that wouldn't be a bad upgrade. Him,
That's true.
with that team at full health, I think they're gonna run the division for another 10 years.
Yeah,
I can see that. I can't honestly. I had trouble seeing it. You know, Bill hasn't never really traded picks like that. And Bill, I don't think Bill's gonna be.
They do draft.
We'll see. We'll see. Crazier stuff's happened, but I just couldn't see Bill trading a haul of picks.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to take on that contract either. He usually tries to cheap his players.
Yeah, you can go sign some quarterback. Bill will turn a fucking third-round pick from this year's class into the next Tom, bro. Like
Malcolm Butler was like a fifth.
They're gonna be good. That's Bill Belichick, man. That's the guy. You don't gotta give Bill any gifts like that. He'll make them.
Facts. Robert, where you had him going?
I'm kind of torn here, but I'm leaning towards the 49ers. I could see them dumping Garoppolo and getting rid of the house, trying to make sure they get their guy because their window is closing. They were just a Super Bowl team, and now they finished outside the playoffs. I think the 49ers get desperate here and pull the trigger.
See, that'd be great. That's probably one of the scenarios that honestly puts him on the fast pace of the Super Bowl. Honestly,
yeah, that's tough. One of the few contenders that actually need a quarterback.
After a team loses a Super Bowl, like they did last year, that's normally when they start to like not spiral out, but they start to make drastic moves. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, they try to keep it going if they can.
Yeah. So moving on to basketball, the Knicks have won, the last 2 games after going on a little 4-game skid. I want to hear you guys. What do you
think? It was 5 games.
It was a 5. Yeah, it was a 5-game skid, and now we're sitting at 7 and 8, I believe. We're doing not too shabby,
And we play Golden State.
Yeah, we play. Yeah.
I'm about to put some crazy money.
It's gonna be, there's been a lot of things up and down going on with the team. What have you seen the last 5 games? What do you think you've seen from the team in general?
Well, I've seen this the whole year. They're a streaky shooting team. The games that we won, like our 3-point percentage was terrible.
I've seen that in the games that we lose.
Yeah, the games that we won, we shot the 3 amazing. Like the Bucks, we shot like something like 60%, and then the games we lose, we shoot like in the teens. So it's like we're a streaky shooting team. RJ either is really hot or is really cold. Peyton, same thing. Randall only really hits the threes when he's going. And then teams started zoning up on us. They figured out like that's the method to beat us, and they're going with it. I didn't look too much into the Celtics win because they were like heavily undermanned. But I did like the Magic win though.
It wasn't too heavily.
Yeah, but I did like the Magic win though.
It was basically just like Kemba got hurt in the third quarter, and
it was just Tatum.
Tatum didn't play.
I do like the defense that Julius Randle was playing though.
He's getting real physical.
After with Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, but what I've seen as of late, ever since the Nets game, really kind of hit our stride as far as the 3-ball comes. Like, yeah, of course we're gonna be inconsistent. The offense is gonna come and go. We're a young team, but the number one thing I've seen us improve on over this last stretch of games is the defense. We're really starting to find our groove on that end of the court, and it's leading to offense, it's leading to fast break buckets, and it's leading to W's like we saw earlier in the season.
Facts.
Getting out in transition is how we want to play, and when we're controlling the pace of the game, that's when we have the best chance to win. Also, I just want to say Reggie Bullock needs to take a fucking seat on that bench. I cannot stand him playing Kevin Knox's minutes. It makes no sense to me. I don't get it. And, I'm honestly just genuinely confused on why Reggie Bullock still gets so much playing time.
After, the growth of Quickly and stuff, it's kind of like, damn, we low-key have, we kind of have enough, depth, but at the guard / the wing position when we really don't need Reggie. It's weird to be, he's kind of
I'd rather, just not see him play anymore.
But, all right, so one of the biggest things that I've seen, the last 4 games since the Nets game, even in the Nets game, is RJ's been hooping at his mind. Kids averaging at least 20 points per game in the last 4 games, shooting very well from the field, at least 45% in all of those games from the field. Shooting very well from the free throw line, shooting at least 87% in all those games from the
Also
field.
hitting,
I mean, at least 83%.
threes. Threes are
Yeah,
coming
kid's
and
been
going.
shooting well from three a little bit. Aside from that one game, the last Magic game, he went 0 for 3. He's been rebounding very well over the last couple games, which has been a nice
the
add.
rebounds, double machine as of late.
He's averaging 17 and nearly 8 rebounds and 3.5 assists a game. I'm very happy with what he's been doing for the team, and I think that he needs. If he keeps it up, his future is extremely promising. And the big thing for him is his field goal percentage is low right now in the season. So seeing that over the last couple of games he's been stepping it up and shooting more efficiently, it's also very, very good green sign. We don't want to see our star or one of our leading shooters shooting under 40%, from the field. That's huge. And quickly, man, look at quickly. The last couple of games, even in the Nets game, since he was hooping, dropped 19 in that game, dropped 23 the game after that against Cleveland, had 17 against the Celtics with 8 assists in only 21 minutes. The guy is
all of this is in limited playing time.
Limited play, and the kid's a scrappy defender. He gets into the foul trouble, but it's because he's up in their grills on defense.
And the fact that
he's a spark plug off the bench. He gives him that energy.
The fact that he can knock down the three kind of opens up the floor a little more.
His splits are ridiculous this season. He's shooting 40% from the field, 35% from. The splits aren't ridiculous, but he's shooting 96% from the field, from the free throw line. That kind of efficiency is pretty crazy. Yeah. He's gonna his 3-point percentage at 34%. And it's getting better. And he's got those floaters. His floaters are inconsistent.
He needs a new layup package.
But I think that's
the floater, but he needs more to go to because it's literally floater
it gets repetitive.
Yeah.
And it's a good. I want to say it's a good go-to move or a good pocket move because obviously a lot of point guards in the.
I like him having a strong go-to move. It's like a
in the clutch time. You need a basket boop floater. I like to have something like that in the back pocket. I want to see him. I would love to see him in the starting lineup, even as the 2. Besides Peyton, they're both scrappy. He's a 2 and either 3 and I think he's way better than Reggie. I think they'd be fun.
Alfred Payton is in that lineup just because Tibbs loves that defense intensity that he brings, and as a Knicks fan, I kind of enjoy it too. It's kind of fun to watch him get into star players' grills and just throw them off their games. Like when he was guarding Jaylen Brown was having serious troubles.
That defense intensity you talk about is something the DSJ lacks, and it's why he doesn't see the floor.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Plus, he can't do anything on a basketball court, but we're not going to get into that.
And
I like us too. Yeah, I like us.
This has been the most excited I've been to watch it since 2013.
Yeah, and I also saw on the Knicks post we were first in points allowed in the league, 5th in defensive rating, and
that's Tibbs.
First in opposing 3-point percentage.
Tibbs.
We're definitely
Tibbs.
Right. That's definitely the Tibbs effect right there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we don't have the Tibbs effect with the injury, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
We need Alec Burks back. Alec Burks is the main reason I think we fell into that little losing streak.
That losing slump, yeah.
If we had a more consistent shooter to rely on.
Okay.
Burks is actually a really guy that we need right now. Austin Rivers had that one good game when he was hooping, and now it was oh snap! Is this?
No, it was like a 3-game stretch, and he's been pretty quiet since.
All right, so the Nets been winning, these recent basketball games without Kyrie, playing pretty good. James Harden and KD, dropping 30 bombs together. Guys are just looking good. What do you guys think? A lot of talks about do they need Kyrie? What do you think?
I wouldn't say they need him. I think they have more than enough. Well, not more than enough. I think they have enough to probably go to the finals and win a championship.
With just them two, and
they definitely do not have enough to win a championship without Kyrie. I guarantee. I can tell you that. Their depth is not impressive. Their depth is honestly not impressive.
I don't think Kyrie can do anything but help them. It's not going to be. He's not going to be a detriment to the team.
Yeah.
It would be a different scenario maybe if they had Dinwiddie or whatnot, but he's definitely.
Yeah, that's true. If they had Dinwiddie, that'd be actually pretty big right now for them.
Definitely not hurting them. But I'm curious to see how that would fit because Kyrie's very ball dominant. His game is dribbling, not over dribbling, but taking a good majority of dribbles, just like James Harden game is. But James Harden has been able to adapt, so you never know.
Yeah, James Harden has more of a passing element to his game too now.
Okay. Yeah. But I like them. They beat the Bucks, who is like a lot of people's Eastern favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, going
Yeah.
into the year, and
I
they've
think
gotten
I
it
think
going
that's gonna be
recently.
big.
But I mean, when your best player can't do nothing but Euro step and dunk, there's nothing like you could only go so much. So
I mean, Middleton 0 for 5 from 3. He was kind of disappearing down the stretch. And
like,
Drew Holiday, he was kind of getting fried by Harden. I'm not going there.
but the Nets
Not
are
gonna
nice. Dinwiddie would just add another layer to their defense because he does play D. But would you rather see Kyrie come back? I mean, Kyrie does come back tonight. They play the Cavs, which they probably didn't need Kyrie tonight. But would you rather see them with Kyrie, or would you rather see them have like another player, like a trade to get them deeper?
It's a good question because they could use the depth. They could use better systematic fits around them too. Because Harden and KD are MVPs in their own right.
Put Klay Thompson on the team. That's a championship.
Yeah, forget it. Because Point Harden is the real deal. This guy is getting dimes out here. KD, you put the ball in his hands, good things are gonna happen. The guy
13 assists. Well, I mean, they only played 2 games, but 13, 9, and 33 is not shabby numbers.
Yeah, at all.
Christ, he plays 41 minutes a game.
I think
Yeah,
we'll call him
Kyrie
it says
coming back.
Steve Nash trying to make him run off the weight.
What's it called? I think Kyrie coming back is going to be huge for them. Everybody's saying there's only one ball and they have to share it, but it lets them rotate their offense a lot better. They get to give the other 2 stars rest and just let one star stay on the floor.
That's another guy that you have to double.
Yeah, and you can't just slack off. If you miss one assignment, you're getting burned, especially if they're running Joe Harris or Jeff Green. We've seen them get their offense off pretty easily because the defense.
You need 3 guys that need 2 defenders, and you're playing 2-on-0 with the other guys, with Joe Harris and
like Joe Harris. You got paid a bag. You got paid like $25 million, but he's looking like surprisingly worth it. Like the guy is coming out here and getting. He looks like a legitimate third option.
Right there for when Kyrie comes back, it's like great. But he's like 50% from 3, and now he's about to be just left open. That's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like the guy is gonna be putting up some wicked percentages.
Said they're making him run off the weight. That's what Phil Jackson used to do to Shaq. He used to make him play like a week straight with not touching the bench and just get him in playoff shape. Robert Kanu, do you think they should trade?
I could see a team like this is very weak, like with their depth. They're so weak. I would argue they're bottom 5 bench in the league. They're like it's without a question.
I think it's arguable, but
I don't think it is. It's definitely not. Like if you look at this last game against the Bucks, they only really need like a 5-man rotation to play the majority of minutes. Nobody else is exceeding 20 for their bench.
Wait, hold on. That's the wrong team's bench.
Except for Bruce Brown. But Bruce Brown, the he's a decent guard. He's shooting poorly. He shoots from poorly from 3.
Claxton still hasn't come back from injury. And
Claxton and Dinwiddie's out. But I think LeVert is the piece that made them the deepest team in the league.
I mean, of course,
he's a very good. I don't think I will never say one bench option will make a team the deepest anything in the
NBA. They traded 4 different options. Like Cruz is like no bum by any means.
Yeah, they traded their depth. But now they're stuck with Tuwawa and Shamit, who's okay. Shamit.
I don't mind TLC. I think he's a decent shooter. I don't mind their bench pieces. They can shoot and they could play around.
Okay, so they had one. They had how many threes? Okay, they had 1 3 off the bench last game.
And that's one game.
Yeah, and they had nobody on the bench drop double digits. It's without question to say that Jeff Green is by far the only competent bench player on that team. I would even go as far as saying, and he's starting lineup. Right? He's starting right now until Kyrie is back. He's starting lineup. And their bench is without Jared Allen, who's the best big man on the team. Like
he's gone. One of the best rim protectors in the East.
He's gone. Well, Miles Turner's in the East, and he's leading with 4 games, so he is. But whatever.
DeAndre Jordan's giving them serviceable minutes.
Yes, but he's
serviceable minutes. I mean, we're talking about Jared Allen was better than Caris LeVert's he was the bench when you needed rest players. Now that's why these guys like James Harden is playing 40 minutes a game.
But I don't mind. I literally do not mind swapping all those guys for James Harden because James Harden is that good.
And of course, because I want to say that James Harden is. I mean, it's without question that he's way better than Kyrie.
So, Kano, who would you trade for?
I would I honestly I can't even think of any teams right now off the top of my head that would just want Kyrie Irving because there has to be a lot of teams. A lot of teams have promising point guards and stuff. So I don't know who's willing to, because there has to be somebody who's willing to kick it into high gear right now to compete. And also the fact that he was away from the game for all those days. Who's really trying to trade a lot for Kyrie right now?
Yeah. All right.
Plus, I think KD calls the shots, and he's not gonna want his little Robin.
Yeah, the whole thing was they wanted to play together,
and then Kyrie stopped playing. So maybe if KD was the one who said, it was. But KD was the one who said that they said he was the one who's the most adamant, aggressively pushing for them to get James Harden because they had been in talks for a couple times.
Kyrie did say he wanted to form a big three. He said they were one piece away last year.
Okay.
It's so funny
while he was injured.
Kyrie's like, he wanted to leave LeBron because he didn't want to play with Robin and LeBron, but now he wants to come play third superstar.
Now he's
hilarious. But all right, moving on to our last topic of the night: MLB scandal. The Mets' new GM Jared Porter caught in a scandal from 2016 where he was messaging was it ESPN? Yeah, it was an ESPN employee who was a woman interviewer, and he was just being a total freak, total weird guy.
Unanswered messages, bro. Like, what's wrong with you?
62 unanswered, including an unsolicited.
Oh, look, the first 15 photos was of hotel. The 16th was the same photo of his bulge in his pants, and the 17th picture was his nut. Like, bro, what's going through your mind, bro? Shout out to the Mets for getting it. And anybody can do that, you're pussy.
You can't do that. You got
of nature, but he got it done in the front office for.
We're not going to give that crap bag any admiration. I assume that Sandy Alderson did almost all of the contacting with the Indians anyway. That guy, I mean, yeah. If he did get Lindor, good for him. Thank you for that. But peace, deuces, because the Mets had no other option. We just fired Carlos Beltran last season after the Astros scandal and his part in it. Which I honestly think is a way less morally wrong than what Jared Porter doing. Jared Porter's doing something that's, you're sexually harassing a woman.
He got the league after that, right?
What?
He's out of baseball after that. There's no coming back from that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anybody else who does that kind of stuff out there, you're pussy.
That's terrible. And honestly, I want to say also at the same time, it's a little sketchy that ESPN had this for like 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah, the fact that
this was got a job released that.
Yeah, and she said she wanted to keep it private and didn't want to.
And then now she's like not in the same. Yeah, and then now she said that she's not in that field of work anymore. So then now she put it down because she doesn't want other women in the industry to have to go through.
I can understand that.
I respect that. I respect the fact that that's real and you're looking out for your people. But damn, if the timing isn't just a little
that's pretty bad timing.
Or convenient, however you want to put it. Great. So good. Kudos to those guys. And that's all from your host here at SportAches. Thank you for watching. Stay healthy. Stay blessed.
Follow us YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at SportAches, and look out around the end of the week for new episodes.
Take care, guys. Peace out.
Peace.